Hey guys, let's open up our Bibles to John chapter 21, the last chapter in John, and verse 25. It says, "Now there are also many other things that Jesus did. Were every one of them to be written, I suppose the world itself could not contain the books that would be written." So, guys, pretty much right now, I just want you to reflect on what God has done in your life. That statement has a tremendous amount of power. I mean, when I read that, I just had to sit there. I mean, first of all, John was over, so I had nothing else to read after that. But I had to just sit there and reflect because I want to know so bad, what has Jesus done in your life? The whole book of John is just story after story, parables, and just Jesus and the beloved, this, Jesus meeting this person. I want to know, where has Jesus met you? Where has Jesus met you? What is your story? What are the books that could be written about where Jesus has met you? I love the fact that it says, I suppose that the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. You know why I think that's so powerful? Is because the world is huge. As far as our brains, minds, everything can comprehend, the world is massive. And there are millions of books on the world. And I mean, I'm just looking around me, and there's space around me. So there's obviously not enough books in the world to where we couldn't even walk. We would be stepping on a book. We can't even turn our head and a book is hitting us in the face. Okay? That's why this is powerful. What this is saying, as the Lord has done so much, Jesus did so many things that could be written about, that we couldn't even contain it in the world. If every single thing was written, we would have no place to store it. That is how much Jesus does. That is how much Jesus is working. That is how much Jesus is meeting people all around you. In your neighbor's house, Jesus is meeting people right where they're at, in their sin, in their brokenness, in their joy, in their victories, in their pain. Jesus is meeting them, and there's stories to be written. Guys, this is why journaling and prayer is so important to be able to reflect back on. So prayer, it keeps you watchful. It keeps you just having a thankful heart. It turns your heart to thankfulness when God answers prayer. But journaling is also super cool because you can see in a drought, you can see in a dry season, you can see in victory, you can see in pain when you're journaling how God answers later on. And there's chapters, there's books that can be written about it, which is super cool. Guys, the Lord truly deserves so much credit. So much. He deserves it all. He deserves all the credit in the world. He deserves more praise than I've given him. He deserves more reflecting than I've done, and just a thankfulness that I've had. So how about your life? Where's your testimony and where Jesus has met you? Where's your testimony and the books that could be written, even just about your life in general? Where do you see God working in your life before your mind was even open to him? This is why our testimonies, our stories, our shouts of praises, our hurts, our circumstances are so beneficial in sharing the gospel. You have the power to share Jesus in your story. How are you doing that? I love to hear how Jesus is moving. I don't hear it enough. I just want people to call me and tell me how Jesus is moving in their life. That's what I long for. It shows his power, even if I feel as if Jesus isn't moving particularly in my life. It's so awesome to hear about it. Guys, share your story. Where has Jesus met you? Write books about it. Write pages on your journal. Fill journals up and give him praise for what he's done.